2012 Subaru Impreza. We're going to change out the front brakes and rotors. So let's get started. 14 millimeter, right? And I'll make sure that's tightening it. That's loosening it. All right. I'm gonna loosen the top, right? Okay, but I'm gonna loosen the top. Make sure you can see it in here. Okay. Then I'm gonna take off the bottom. And the reason you want the bottom is because you can swing this open this way. And if you take out the top, it's gonna swing that way. So now I will remove this. Okay, now normally I need a coat hanger to hang this up because you don't want to be tugging on the, you don't want to be letting this just hang. But this, on a Subaru Impreza, guess what? It's just long enough to sit right there. 17 millimeters. This one and that one. Oh, I don't have my flashlight. Hopefully you can see it. This one and this one, 17 millimeters. I'm gonna need an extension here, so let's get this one on. All right, comes out nice and easy. I think the top one might be a little bit more difficult. This one was in there good. Oops, my battery fell out. Okay, I used a wobbly extension, and that makes it just enough so it wobbles, because the straight one, see, I couldn't go in straight, so I had to go in a little bit wobbly. So wobbly extension recommended. You know, you can get away with it, but 17 millimeters, and they come out. All right. So, pretty worn down to, yeah, that was close enough to get, it was worn down. Had a little bit on there, but, all right, this bad boy, you gotta hammer it out, or we got a trick for you. Alright, since we don't want to hammer it out, we're going to put this bolt in here. And... wrong way. And you see how it just came right on out? I like these rotors have that little option. The new ones we're going to put on don't have that. But I think I'm going to save these. Go ahead and cut them and remachine them. All right, that's it. We've taken it apart. So now clean it up and put it all back together again. First thing you notice, the caliper, these are out. We got to push them back in. So make sure that the lid is off, and take the old one, and then we're going to use a C-clamp, and we're just going to slowly push in one at a time. They sell machines that do this. These aren't the screw kind either, so it's just a matter of slowly, don't try to force it in real quick. Do one side, you know, let it sit, and then do the other side. But, you know, you're going to go nice and slow. So, you'll see me do, like, one side. Alright, let's do the other side now. Take your time on this one. I mean, you can rush it, but you'll probably just get yourself frustrated. Alright. Let's see how they look. Oh, yep. Nice and flush. Alright, so So that should fit right on in, right? Okay. Okay, now time to clean off the new rotor. Oh, I forgot about these guys. So we're going to put grease on that, and it needs to be, I believe, synthetic grease. So let's go put some grease. So you want to use some high temperature grease right now. So it's lithium, right? Lithium complex grease suitable for disc brakes, wheel bearings, U-joints, backhoe, hinge pins, right? So you don't want to use regular grease because it'll eat all these plastic parts. And the way you do this is you dip it one time, and whatever grease comes out, that's what's going in. Okay. Doesn't want to go in. I have a little bit of a mystery here. This one doesn't want to go in. Oh, I'm wondering if it's this little rubber. I'm gonna have to figure that one out. In the meantime, though, this one just pops out. Clean it. Dip it. Okay, even that was kind of exaggerated there. And then see how that one just pops right in? Clean off the excess. That's the way it should be. Let's figure out what's wrong with this one. Alright, I was messing with it, and it was that little rubber seal was coming back up. So I'm gonna put a little bit of grease here, and just that way we know we have enough. And then it locks in, right? Okay, and then clean it up. So that little sleeve, when I pushed it in, it would go up and catch. And so there you go. All right, on to the next step. All right, it's got a little bit of oil on there so that it doesn't rust. So use some brake cleaner to clean it off. And it's pretty nasty stuff, so you want to be out in the air, open air. And let me get a towel to clean that off. Alright, make sure you get all that oil off it, right? And then clean all parts of the brakes. Here's the new rotor, right? So let's put that in there. Now, already I don't like this rotor. It doesn't have those screws I love in here. And that way when this is stuck, I don't have to hammer it out. So, but you don't need it. And this is loose, but once the wheel goes on there, then this is going to be fine. So, let's put this on now. Comes a bracket. And we remember we put some grease in there. Alright, and then these are kind of squared off, so if you put them in like this, they won't fit. They got to go in perfectly, but I think that's later. So let's get this on in with the 19mm. Okay, there's one. There's two. Okay, so normally I'll use a torque. But in this case, for today, because I let someone use my torque wrench, we're going to do nice and tight on these 19 millimeters. I was taught, anywhere metal touches metal, let's use ceramic extreme brake parts lubricant, right? So this is nice and purple, so we know exactly where we're gonna put it. But basically, everywhere the metal will touch the metal. So we'll put it there and there, and then this one is gonna go up here. Okay, now let's continue. At the bottom. Now you notice I got some on the disc, so that's a no-no, right? We're gonna have to make sure that that's nice and clean after I put these on. There, you gotta get in there. I might come back and put some brake fluid and get these nice and clean. You don't want any contamination. All right, one more place you want some grease is there, because what that does is it takes this guy and that pushes the brake back when it's not engaged. So, push that in. Oops. It's a little tricky. And then get this guy in. There you go. Okay, and you see how that little piece will be rubbing against there. Alright. Next comes the caliper. Alright, and then remember, you see there's a little notch here. These have to be facing sideways for them to fit. I'm gonna have to feel the bottom one. And then they just push in and slides in. And there you go. Alright, not sure where my video left off because my camera died. Okay, 14 millimeter. I already had tightened them. These are not very tight at all. In fact, I'll put the foot-pounds in the notes, but these are, if I remember, 20, 25 foot-pounds, not a lot. These are just holding these pins in, so they're not really holding anything, so you can break them easily. And then the 17, or the 19 millimeters, this guy and that guy, that is about, I want to say, between 68 and 82 foot-pounds. So, I'm going to get on those pretty hard. But I've done it enough where I can just, you know, feel it out. So, alright, I felt it get nice and tight. There you go. About 80 foot-pounds. 80 to 100. So, of course, I'll check it out. Alright, there you go. Now, we're going to bleed the brakes, but I'm going to bleed them all. So that's another video on how to bleed those brakes. But for now, that's how to change the front brakes. Give me a thumbs up, please. Please share the video. Please like and subscribe. Every little bit helps. And have a great rest of your day.